Vinny, honestly, he's somebody that I definitely have been able to learn a lot from. Not gonna lie, when I saw him in Miami, I've heard a lot of Vinny. I know obviously I hopped on the levels calls he's been doing, and when I saw him training in Miami, I was mind blown to be honest, because I've never seen a strategy in a concept which is really smart money in a simple sense being broken down so simple that literally like anybody can really understand it. So shout out to you, Vinny. Honestly, bro, you're always giving the value, doing calls on Mondays like this at this call, at this time with many people. We have 50 plus on the call. You know, that's pretty normal that we have here. I know there's a lot more that's to come, but you know, I want to shout out to that. You know, he reached out and he's like, hey, you know, let's do a call. And I'm like, bro, I'm down. I know the flyer, we're looking good in suits, you know, definitely upping in professionalism. But I'm excited to be on here, Familia. If you guys don't know me, my name is Jesus Gill, 27 years young. Now live out here in Dallas, Texas. And for me, everything started 5 years ago. 5 years ago, I started when it comes to trading. And then a year in, actually, from after trading, I learned about crypto. Believe it or not, when I came to the community, I didn't even know there was a crypto side till later. But once I found out the power of crypto on top of trading, it amazed me. But I want to also get a perspective here and kind of see where you guys are with crypto. Because I'm going to be giving some crypto stuff, game, some insight things that you guys can look out to on what's to come. As you guys know, alt season right now is boiling up. It's not really here yet. It's kind of like bubbling, you know, when you like boil something, it's not like super boil, but it's starting to bubble here and there. I believe that's where we are with alt season. But let me know in the chat box from a 1 to 10, where would you put yourself in knowledge in crypto? As in like the knowledge, the terminology, how to create a portfolio, what to do exactly here and there, right? One is like, I know nothing, I know zero, I barely know what crypto is. A 10 is like, I'm good, I got it, I got a portfolio, I know exactly what I'm looking for. Okay, amazing, amazing, amazing. I love to see it because it gives me a perspective on kind of what you guys need, right? It's not about guilt on here. It's about you guys, right? It's about the people, is about here, everybody within the Powerhouse. I know we have Powerhouse University as well on the call. So shout out to you for taking advantage of calls like this. Honestly, is amazing. So cool. We got some, okay, we got some under fives. We got a couple OGs. All right. We got a couple, you know, 2 minutes. All right, bro. I see you. We got a couple. Okay, cool. So with saying that, Familia, what I'm going to start doing is giving you guys a perspective of the basics. Now, one thing that I always like to talk about and always give people horizon is really just what's important to look at when it comes to crypto, bigger than just the charts. Because I know we love the charts, right? Put a one in the chat if you like the charts. You love the charts. You love when they're pulled up. You know, we have calls with like Tony and Fernando. They're pulling up the charts. And I'm going to do that as well, okay? But I also want to give you guys some like education, right? Some things that we have more of an understanding than just like the average person. Now, this is something that I kind of talked a little bit about on the call I did on Saturday. I know not everybody was on there, so I know there's some people that maybe missed it. I'm able to emphasize it, but it's really starting with what is crypto economics. Now, I want you guys to know that crypto is bigger than just a coin. Crypto is bigger than just a chart, a price. It's a technology that's connected to a currency. For the first time in history, when it comes to cryptocurrency, it's a currency that you can actually own things in the internet, in the blockchain. That's literally it. That's it. It's Web 1, Web 2, Web 3. Web 3 is the blockchain. Web 1 was like blogs. Web 2 is what we use right now, even like Zoom right now. But imagine this. Like, just think about perspective. Imagine instead of hopping on Zoom, just how you guys did, you had to own an NFT to hop on the Zoom. And to sign in, your NFT was literally your login. That's literally what is happening right now with the blockchain and ownership. Now let's take it a step further. Imagine if for you to hop on a call like this and own that NFT, like we talked about, to get that ticket in the call, that NFT costs something. But then imagine we had calls like this, then we had like Trade House, right? We got top elite people on calls like this. You guys already know that the price is only going to go up because only people who own the token to get into the call actually, you know, can get in, meaning the price of it will go up because there might be a limited supply. So put a 3 in the chat. That kind of makes sense because I like to break that down because I want you guys to think that it's way bigger than catching a bag, even though, yes, we're here to catch the bag at the end of the day. But without education, you can only catch temporary bags but not long-term sustainability. And that's why crypto is here, okay? And first thing is seeing in the back end is what to look for, all right? Here are a couple things that you can take a screenshot, whatever you want to do. Just wanted to put this visual up here for you guys, but really see on what to look for when you're looking at a crypto. There's a couple things I have on here. Number one is incentives. Number two is like the mechanisms it has. Number three is tokenomics. We'll talk about it. Number four is game theory. And number five is governance. For example, incentives. There's certain projects that we'll be talking about that you guys already hear a lot of them. You know, put a 5 in the chat if you've heard of Jupiter. Okay, Jupiter is something that I know Tony talks about a lot. He's put a lot of people on game, which is sick because, you know, it's amazing to hear because I remember Jupiter. I was in it since one of the very beginnings, you know, a couple airdrops that we've been able to participate. And the cool thing with some of these projects is they reward people for using them. So there's certain coins that you literally get more of because you're an early adopter. And that's one of the things you can look at and kind of see what's happening and if they're early, if they're doing it, if they're not, right? Number two is how are really situated in the blockchain. There's projects even where that they let you vote on what they're doing next. Because remember, you want to look at projects that have utility, but have a long-term purpose and the emphasis. That's very important because it creates sustainability. Believe it or not every crypto is going to be here forever. Okay. A lot of people think that crypto is going to be here forever. Like every crypto. No, crypto is going to be here forever. The blockchain, what it is, but not every cryptocurrency will be here forever. And the reason why is because when hype dies, the crypto dies. But when a crypto has value, right? Like in Powerhouse, we have value. That means when the hype fades, the value carries. And that's the same thing that happens in crypto, which is super important for all of us to understand, right? Then number three, we got tokenomics. Now, these are the numbers, these are the backends. I'm going to be talking about a couple projects and kind of emphasizing on that, on what to look for and how to really understand if it's a good project or it's something that you want to hold most of your portfolio or less of your portfolio, whatever it is. And then also understanding how people make decisions. What are people looking for? One of the biggest things I want everybody here, beginner, intermediate, advanced, to realize is ask yourself, is the crypto you're invested is actually going to be used? Is the blockchain that you're invested in is actually going to be used now, right? If it's later, then it's a long-term portfolio. I'll give you guys a quick example. Put AI in the chat. If you believe AI is now here, AI is being used. AI is actually something that, hey, people are open about, awake about, it's going to be adopted, okay? Believe it or not, some of us were in projects with AI 4 years ago. And the reason why the adoption wasn't there because AI wasn't what it was to what it is today. So now it's a great opportunity to look at projects like AI because it's already in the horizon. That's just a small example of what I'm basically breaking down. And then kind of the last one, I kind of already said it, but governance is the rules of making decisions and updating the blockchain. There's a project called Uniswap. You guys never heard of Uniswap? You know, Jupiter does it as well. But Uniswap is the biggest place where you can transfer projects that are in Ethereum, right? So in Ethereum, it's kind of like an exchange. Think about it like a Coinbase within Ethereum, off the chain, off the main asset, right? And this is a place where you can actually vote and say, hey, what we want for the next step of this project is this. And that's really, really cool. At the end of the day, guys, I want you guys to know that crypto economics ensure that the blockchain works efficiently and fair, and longevity of it is super important, okay? So put a 1 in the chat if this kind of makes sense, right? You know, and you guys are bringing, you're bringing up the government. Like imagine, just imagine it. When I say imagine, that means it is more likely to happen when it gets to the point where you vote in the blockchain. That is something that actually Kennedy, right? The Kennedy that's still alive, right? From the family, he's talked about it. He said if blockchain is used to voting, there would be no such thing as a rigged vote because you can't rig the blockchain, right? And these are things that are being adopted. Obviously, we're super early. And that's why every single one of you guys are very ahead. Now, to kind of get straight into when it comes to the biggest one, in my opinion, is called tokenomics. Okay, so here are a couple of things. If you guys are taking notes real quick before we pull up the charts and some websites and actually projects here, here are a couple of things I want you guys to write down. Number one is the token supply. We're going to talk about that. Number two is the distribution. How are tokens being distributed? What does that mean? That means that sometimes a certain crypto has a max supply, meaning a certain amount ever, but they only have 30% of that out there, outside yet, like in the marketplace. And that does affect price. And I'm going to talk about some things with that. Number 3 is utility. What is a project being used for? Very important when it comes to the backend, it's tokenomics. Number 4 is incentives. We already talked about that. And number 5 is burning mechanisms, right? There's some projects like Ethereum, and I'm going to start pulling up my stuff over here. There's a project called Ethereum, right? Put a 5 in the chat if you've heard of Ethereum. Okay, everybody's heard of ETH by this point, which is wild because the last run, nobody knew of ETH, like not many, but now it's like a lot of people do, which you can start to see the adoption. Everybody knew about Bitcoin, but nobody knew about Ethereum. Now everybody knows about Bitcoin, Ethereum. Not many know about Solana. I mean, people here do, obviously, but in the world, a lot of people don't. A lot of people barely hearing about XRP. But I'm gonna give you guys an example. Ethereum, okay? This is a website called CoinGecko.com. This is where you can come in, look at any crypto. There's literally thousands. There's 17,259 cryptos. Do y'all believe that all of these cryptos have value and going to be here long term? No. Maybe like 1%, maybe like 1 or 2% are actually going to be legit in the next 15, 20 years, maybe even less. So it's very important from what I said, very key. But anyways, CoinMarketCap, right now, we're at maximum $3.4 trillion in crypto, which is very small for where things can go. But here we're going to look at Ethereum real quick, okay? Ethereum is a project that we know is the second biggest one in crypto. The market cap, and this is when tokenomics come into play. Market cap from it, fam, is how much money is in this crypto, basically. Very simple. How much money is in the projects, right? Basically, how many people have bought, like, worth-wise, right? So we got $315 billion, okay? Basically, almost $316 billion in Ethereum. Now, as you guys can see, the next thing you want to look at is max supply. Now, what does this mean? That means how many cryptos will there be ever, max? Right now, it's actually going to be unlimited. So you're like, Gil, how does that make any sense? There's a limited amount of Ethereums. Isn't that like the dollar, right? Like, put a 1 in the chat, you would say, yeah, like, bro, it's like the dollar. They keep printing it. And yes, it is. But there's one key difference. One key difference. Like I was saying earlier, the key difference is that it has a burning mechanism. That's the difference. We have a burning mechanism. That means in Ethereum, every time somebody swaps, somebody uses, somebody transfers Ethereum, parts of it get burnt in the blockchain. This is already encoded. So what does that mean? That helps not the inflation of the assets, a deflationary like mechanism, basically, that when you use it, it's also being burnt. Imagine if the dollar adopted this, it would save the economy, maybe, in my opinion. Maybe, I don't know now, but maybe years ago. But imagine if every time you spent $1, parts of $1 were being burnt every time you used it. That would create stability when it comes to the currency. That's the same thing that is happening in Ethereum. So that's a good example of an asset that has something like this. So as we can see, market cap, this, max supply, infinity. But right now, the total supply, that means how many coins are out there, is 120 million tokens. So how you come up with the price is very simple. It's market cap divided by total supply. Simple, very simple. That's how you come up with the price. Literally, I'm telling you guys the back end of this. Like, why is it important? Because it is important, because education is super key. Because right now, believe it or not, they're teaching blockchain in universities. Like, I've seen ads, I think it's Texas A&M, where they have crypto classes, like blockchain. Like, people paying 20, 30, 40K for literally tokenomics, which I'm literally talking about right now, which is wild to me. But that's what we're living in, and you guys are here literally for free, which is sick. For the time being, right? But cool. So that's a good example of how to look at this. Now, there's a couple things you guys can look at as well. Circulating supply is similar to total supply. You know, some of this might be different, and I'll show some projects that do, but that's a good example. Now, another one I want to bring up to give you guys some examples on how I look at projects and what I look for. You know, you guys are fiends for this. Put ICP in the chat if you guys like ICP. I'm gonna see a lot of ICPs. I already know, right? Because here in Powerhouse, everybody got. If you don't have ICP, you're not in Powerhouse. I guess I think that's a thing, right? Is that a thing, or I don't know? I might be wrong. But ICP guys, I do like the project. Okay, it is an AI project, like I talked about it. Right? AI is huge, but I do want to give you guys a news flash. Okay, a small news flash, not to discourage you, not to tell you to not buy ICP. No, I have ICP myself. I'm in it. I like the project. It's great. But there's a couple things you want to look at. Okay, number one is on the right-hand screen. You can kind of see your different options on like the charts, right? You can see at price. So like what did things look at price? You can look at market cap, right? At the maximum thing. Now, a couple other things I do want you guys to kind of see is that you can't really see it here personally, but from me being in the last run, okay, they do have a max supply as well. They don't have the same burning mechanism that ETH has. They have something in a smaller horizon. But I'm here to tell you guys this, that there's more coins, okay, in the market than what there was back here. Okay, so back here, this was like a very unrealistic pricing. Okay, I know nobody's looking at like I hope nobody's looking at ICP to like be at the hundreds, like up here. Like I hope. Okay, if you are looking at ICP to go here, newsflash, that ain't happening. At least not this run. Maybe like 15, 20, maybe it might do its thing. But the reason why this happened. Okay, you're like, Gil, well, all-time highs, right? Like they can come back. Well, there's a reason why this happened, right? There's something called ICOs, right? So when a project gets launched, there's multiple ways to do that. Number one, it could be mining. Bitcoin got mined, right? Caspa is another one that it only got created by mining. But then there's some projects that what they do is they do like a fundraising. And that's kind of what the traditional world of stocks even works as well. They do a fundraising. And what that fundraising is, they're basically bringing in money, bringing in investments. And then once it comes out, those investors make money and do its thing. Well, what happens with this project is that there was a lot of ICOs in this time. So there was a lot of buyers that were here, early investors. And when this price went insane for that, like literally for like a day, like a week, couple days, right? A lot of profit was taken because majority of the supply was from ICOs, was from investors. Okay, so I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad project, but I'm just saying to not be like shook about like, oh my God, this hit 600, it can get there. No, number one, there's a lot of ICOs, a lot of investors that came out and they're not going back in. But another one is that their amount of coins has increased. So give you guys a quick glimpse of ICP. ICP is a good project. I'm not saying it's not, but I'm just saying be very realistic with your take profits. That is something that I want you guys to emphasize. I don't have crazy amount of time on today's call, but one thing I want to emphasize insanely is to not overlook a 3, 4, 5x. Do not overlook a 3, 4, 5x. I know we love the 100x. I know we love to get rich off of one coin. I know it. I know it's okay. It's fine. But I'm here to let you guys know with my experience that I've seen the last 5 years with other people's wins and losses is the biggest thing is not taking profit with a 3, 4, 5x. All right. So for example, literally ICP at 20 is my first TP. When it hit this, I already took some profit because I was in it down here, right? Well, you want to kind of look at the chart and say, hey, what can I look for a possible, take profit? Now, I know a lot of you guys trade. Put a T in the chat if you trade, right? You're trading, the strategy that Vinny talks about. You're just trading smart money, right? So many different things we're looking at here in Powerhouse. You can use the same analysis for take profits, right? Because this is a take profit. If you guys know, mitigation here, imbalance here. This is why it's one of my take profits. Up here, this could also be another good take profit. This up here, right here, another good take profit, right? With the understanding that you guys are getting in trading, you guys can apply it in crypto portfolio investing. But the beauty about this is that crypto is actually passive. Like crypto is literally passive. What does that mean? That means you learn the skill, you apply the skill, and while you're learning how to trade, you're investing money and being in the right assets. I'm not saying it's for sure, but I'm telling you guys this, the markets are going to do its thing with or without you. That's the difference. In trading, it's got to be with you, right? Because if you don't take the trade, you didn't do anything. But in crypto, if you just entered an asset and forgot about it and just looked at the chart, you can be a part of that movement. But remember, being in the right projects is super key. So that's something else I wanted to talk about. Now, another one I want to talk about real quick for you guys is a project called Ondo. Now, put a 5 in the chat if you've heard of Ondo. Put a 4 in the chat if you have not heard of Ondo. I want to give you guys this play because I'm not going to lie. Ondo is something that I'm literally, it's in my top 3 holding, I think, top 4. I'm probably going to make it number 1 or number 2, to be frank. And there's a lot of reasons why, but I'll show you guys this. Ondo is a project that, to make it in very simple terms, it's the middleman of investments for investors. It's the middleman. And I'm here to give you guys a news flash as well. We want, and there's actually already happening, a lot of big money is entering crypto. We see that. And it's barely even going. Because guess what? A lot of things in the back end have to happen for it to be in full effect. So the reason why we haven't seen the highs that we've been looking for, the reason why, guys, is because of regulation in the US. Very simple. That's it. When regulation happens, things already are happening. But once it gets released, to be fair, it might be late. Because one thing that you guys want to learn is this. You buy the rumor, you sell the news. Right now, it's the rumor. People, institutions, because it's, hey, it's happening, it's about to happen. But once it's like legit, like it's done, regulation is set, everything is happening, those are going to be kind of some tops, to be honest. And it's very important to look at it in that perspective. But Ondo, like I was saying, is the middleman of investments. The goal of Ondo is to make it a place where big investors can come in and maybe buy some treasuries, but do the blockchain. They want to buy some investments. They want to be the middleman of things. Now, there's something else going on that I want to kind of show you guys real quick. And it's really been happening for the last couple of years. Now, put a, I know I do numbers in the chat so I can get you guys focused. Put a 1 in the chat. You guys have heard of Chase. Like JP Morgan Chase. Put a 1 in the chat. Okay. Now, what if I told you that Chase was creating its own blockchain? Like literally in their website, they have already like educational things about blockchain. But what I want to show you guys is this. For the last couple of years, and they actually changed the name recently, they've been creating their own blockchain. Literally their own blockchain. Like, look, tokenized investments, faster cross-border payments through Connexus by JP Morgan. But check this. What they've just done is they've actually partnered with Ondo and one more project, and I'll leave you guys with this, and it's called Chainlink. If you guys haven't heard of Chainlink, fam, Chainlink is a huge part of crypto. It's actually, it used to be huge in Ethereum. Now it's huge in every blockchain. Literally every blockchain is now, you know, part of Chainlink. And what just happened recently was a partnership between Chainlink, Ondo, and Connexus. And this system is here so that JP Morgan gets all the top investors. It's a chain where they go from here to then Ondo, to then Chainlink, to then Connexus. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I know that JP Morgan is here to bring in lots and lots of money. They want to be the number one. They already been the number one bank. They want to be the number one bank with crypto. And what's happening now is wild. Something I've learned a lot from watching, you know, the people we watch, is that banks are now applying to be exchanges like Coinbase, like Kraken. And exchanges like Coinbase are applying in the back end to be like banks, which is wild. Because right now, it's like, who can get there first? Who can have the best of both worlds? Who can have the banking system and the exchange system set in one? And this is why, guys, crypto is super early. The reason why nobody knows about any of this just shows right now that it's so early doors, like it's so early. honestly. You guys look at $3 trillion and say, wow, that's a lot of money. But I want you guys to realize that the stock market is like 40 trillion. 40 trillion. Think about that. How would crypto look at when all of crypto is 10 trillion, 15 trillion, 20 trillion, right? And I'm not saying to just like have that crazy illusion, but just think of the long-term vision. Don't think of the next only 6 months. Yes, take profit as you go into stable coins. And obviously there's a lot of insights in and outs that we can go through. But I just want to give you guys perspective on not just what to look for, a couple of projects that I'm looking at, why I'm looking at it. You guys get to see kind of the things I'm looking at, right? It's deeper than just the coin and the max supply, and it's deeper than the price. It's where things it can go with adoption. Okay. So guys, put a 9 in the chat if you guys got some value. Honestly, I just wanted to come on here, shout out to you, Vinny, bro, for inviting me on this call. But I want to come on here and give you guys some plays, hopefully that you guys can take away. If you guys have questions, you guys can follow me. Obviously, I'm in the chats. I'm everywhere at Guild Creator. You can connect with me. And as you guys know, we got some exciting things cooking up, and I'm very excited to help you guys. And we have a lot of value that we're doing, and that at the end of the day, we have access to. So take advantage of it, guys, and just know the best is always yet to come. Powerhouse is a place to be, but also when it comes to trading, Vinny is the guy. So I want you guys to definitely always stay plugged in with Vinny. I'm plugged in as a student 100% because he's actually leveled up my trade. I don't know if I told him that, but he actually has some things I've been able to apply, and it's automatically already like a month, 2 months in, has elevated that to the next level. So Vinny, bro, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you for having on me here. Appreciate you guys for being students of the game, and I'll be continuing on here as a student, brother.
Let's go, guys. Gil, if you can pass me back host, I appreciate it. But guys, give me some 7-7s for my brother Gil, because honestly, man, that was some sauce, bro. Like there's a lot that goes into crypto. And I, for one, like the tokenomics and all that stuff behind it. Like when I tried to learn it myself, bro, like lost. But when somebody who can break things down and simplifies things a little bit, man, it gets a bit easier every time you hear the information. Not saying this time might be that one that just clicks, but every time it slowly starts to, sink in, and at that point, it's all about time, guys, so let's go ahead and get into it. Gil, I appreciate you, bro, for real, for hopping on, because I do know, man, you got some stuff going on. You got, the family at home, so I appreciate you doing your thing for me, bro. But let's go ahead and get into it, guys. Let's go to the dollar real quick. I don't know why I'm on the 1 minute. That's crazy. You guys can see my screen, right, guys? Let me go ahead and pull the chats real quick. Yeah. All right. Cool. Pull up the chats. All right, guys. So let's go ahead. Well, widen out my screen just a little bit more. Got a new screen today, so getting used to it still. But as we go to the higher time frame, guys, I've been talking about this for a while, but at the same time, like it's all about repetition and understanding, the trend, right? We've been calling sales in this area from here, and the market has just been trending to the downside. So understanding market is downtrending in this moment with the dollar, especially on higher time frame. So I would like to continue to see the market to make, new lows eventually, right? I would like to see the market continue to the downside. Now, the thing is usually when the market changes character, right? Usually when the market changes character. Now let's go to the monthly time frame so you can see it a bit better. Let's go ahead and just delete some of this stuff for the visual. Now, what would you guys consider this right here? What is this to you guys? What would you guys call that? Liquidity, right? Consolidation. Right now, for me, I don't really like to participate in that. And 2, we were looking for sales in this red zone. Now, but looking at it with the head and shoulder point of view, right? This would be my breakage structure to the upside. And this right here would be my change of direction to the downside right here in this area. Right, even here as well. Let's see, to the downside. Now, notice usually, right, and this is what we would like to see, right, after a change of direction. Usually after a change of direction, we would like to see a little bit of consolidation, right? Now, even if it downtrends a bit and we kind of create like a trend line, liquidity type structure, something like this, right? This is also something good that we can see because, if we're looking for some possible sales in this area, I would like to see if we can continue back up and then continue that sell again, right? This right here is incentive to go higher to sweep that. Now it might not come back up here, right? We might even have something that looks like this, right? Market comes, sweep this liquidity real quick, and it doesn't reach all the way up here, but the market does respect structure in this area. At that point, guys, after we sweep this liquidity, I would like to go ahead and continue to the downside. But of course, this has to play out. And when that does, we will be locked in on that together. But that is what I am expecting, right? Usually after a nice change of direction, usually there are some consolidations that follow that, right? So just keep that in mind with the US dollar. So now that we go back to the lower time frame, now we've talked about, continuations all throughout this area, so I'm not going to go ahead and just continue to break that down. But the market is respecting structure right now. Now, check me out, guys. Market is in a downtrend. Lower low, lower high. Market gives me a new low, right? Oops. So let's go ahead. We'll delete that and let's just mark that up. Break a structure to the downside, right? Break a structure to the downside. Now, my last selling candle, my last buying candle would be right here. This is my last buying candle before the massive breakout rally, right? So let's go ahead and just highlight that candle. That's my supply. Now I'm looking to take sales off of that. Now, market did respect that, and we started to continue down, which is a good thing. Right now, let's continue to follow the structure, right? Let's continue to follow the structure. Now, let's just play this back, right? Let's play this back because I'm a big fan of understanding breakouts, understanding structure when it comes to the head and shoulder setups, guys. If you can't identify a higher high, higher low, lower low, lower high, a break of structure, a change of character, understanding levels is going to be a bit tough. But not only that, understanding smart money will be even be tougher, right? So even though, I always repeat, freaking, it's funny because this past weekend we were in Reno and I'm asking the guys, what should my topic be? And they're like market structure. I'm like, oh my God, bro, again for the 15th time, but at the same time, guys, like I know for a fact that helped the Reno squad, right? Because no matter what, guys, just like I said at the beginning, it's all about the reps. Yes, it's all about the reps, right? It's all about the reps. The more you can hear something, even though it might not click with you in that moment in time, it will click eventually. And you're going to be like, yo, I've been telling you that. Or, somebody might be like, yo, I've been telling you that the whole time. But yeah, but it just couldn't click with me till today. And that's as long as it clicks, doesn't matter when, because eventually it will. That's good. Now let's go ahead and see if we can get some break structure to the upside and identify the change of character off the zone. So what I want to see, guys, is I want to see the market continue to break structure, and I will mark up my BOSs, and I will identify my change of character line. Now, every time it breaks structure, I want to continue to move my BOS and my change of character line, and I want to continue that. BOS, change of character line, and I need to identify my change of direction. As soon as we get this, I am now looking to continue sales. Okay, now let's go ahead and identify that. Now, I would like to see if anybody would like to participate, right? Go ahead. You guys can go ahead and draw on my chart. We are going to go ahead and go through this together. Okay. Now, right now, I am keeping it simple, and I'm going to go ahead and look for a breakout here. So, boom, let's go ahead. We'll mark that up. I will mark up the first one for you guys, right? We can easily see we have a break of structure to the upside, right? And market came right back in. Notice this, guys. My breakout rally to the upside. My last buying candle is right here. But before we even mark that up, right, I'm not even looking for buys. I'm looking for sells. So I need to understand my change of character. If this is my higher high and this is my higher low, and then we break out creating new highs, where is my change of direction line, guys? Go ahead and mark that up for me. Let's go, JV. Let's go, Jennifer. Let's go, Nova. Yup, right there. Boom, mark that up. This is my need change of direction for sell opportunity, right? And I was telling the Reno squad, I'm like, this is how I have it, right? Need change of direction for sell opportunity. But bro, label these things anything you need in order for it to make sense to you, right? This can say, hey, I'm not looking for sales until it breaks and close below, not looking for sales till change of direction, continue to look for buys till we break and close below this line. Guys, you can put anything you need right here in order for you to be confident. For me, I need a change of direction for sell opportunities, right? So let's go ahead. We'll continue to the upside. Boom. Where is my new break of structure, guys? Help me out. Who wants to help me out? Let's go. Okay, I see you. I see you. Awesome. Let's go, family. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is instead of just continuing to put new lines, I'm just going to update, right? So if y'all can erase those lines, that would be amazing, right? So I'm just going to update. I'm just going to move. Boom. And I'm going to adjust. And I'm going to adjust. Awesome. Let's go ahead and continue. Okay. Let's go. I'm going to get out of here real quick. And then I will go back here because I want to refresh the chart. All right, guys, please do not write on my chart unless you can erase it. But for those who can see the new fresh breakout, where's my BOS at, guys? And this one might be a little bit tougher for you to see, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and we'll follow. Got you. Appreciate you. We'll go ahead and, yes, we'll go ahead and follow the structure. Anytime you're lost, guys, let's go ahead and follow the structure. Higher high, higher low, higher high. Now you see this one candle right here and it pulls back. This is the daily. So on the lower time frame, this pullback, this one candle pullback is actually going to be a couple candles, right? So this will be a break of structure to the upside as well. So let's go ahead and we'll move this and then we'll jump on a lower time frame so I can show you what that looks like. If you can delete that red line, that would be amazing. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame. Thank you. Now, can you guys see that pullback now? Is that more visible for you guys? So instead of it being one candle, the 4 hours actually a nice pullback. So when you're on a higher time frame and you just see a candle, guys, that is a breakout, especially on that lower time frame. Right now we're on the 1 hour. Now there's a lot more candles. So that is nice structure. But on the daily time frame, we're just eliminating all those candles. Notice if I just circle this, right? Look at this one candle. And it's okay to do this, guys. I do this all the time. I did this when I first started out, and I still do this. I always eliminate. Like if I don't have to look at a dozen candles, I'm not going to. Like I'm just not. Notice how now we have a bit more. And if you want to go to the 1 hour time frame, notice how there's even more, right? But you can also eliminate the noise by going up, right? Just by going up. I'm showing you. I'm showing you right now. Stay locked in, stay locked in, stay locked in with me. But that's how I like to eliminate the noise, guys, right? So at this time, I am waiting for the market to break and close below, or else I am not taking any sales. The market can continue buying. When in doubt, zoom out. Yes, sir. The market can continue dropping, continue dropping, continue dropping. But if it does not break and close below, the market can still continue higher. Does that make sense? So I need the market to break and close below this black line. This is why I have this here. I need the change of direction for sell opportunities. And if I don't get that, guys, the market can still go higher. There's an example. I forgot on what chart we will look for it before the call ends. Please remind me so we can look at it, because the market literally does this. Hangs out, builds consolidation. I got you, yeah. And the market jumps up and continues higher. So let's go ahead. Boom. Guys, do we get the change of direction that we're looking for? Yes. So now let's go ahead. We'll mark that up. Let's confirm that. Okay. Change of direction. Now, if this is my breakout rally, guys, right? My breakout rally, where's my last buying candle before my change of direction? Go ahead and highlight that. Circle it up. Let's go. Let's go. We're going to go ahead and, okay, Nova, a little aggressive, but I like it. I see you. That's my sell zone. That's the sell opportunity right there. So what I do is I set my alert and I'm waiting for the market to come back in so we can go ahead and take some sell opportunities or see that dollar shift, right? Because I like to look at the dollar, even though we might not trade it. And maybe someone who's trading futures trades the dollar. I mean, if I was trading futures, bro, I would absolutely smack the dollar, right? But I just don't trade futures. But I know some brokers when on the Forex side, they do allow you to trade this. So, I mean, if you guys do, I personally don't, do your thing. But I do look at the dollar for Forex paired bias, right? So if the dollar is dropping, anything USD in the front, I'm also looking for sales. If it's USD in the back, I'm looking for buys, right? We've gone over that topic a couple times this past 2 months. So I don't want to take too much time, especially I don't have that much time right now. But I'm now waiting for the dollar to make its way and then continue dropping. So let's go ahead and see if the market can go ahead and do that. So now we're waiting. Guys, the market literally, look at the market literally opened right here and then dropped. Nasty movement. And that's pretty much how we ended the week last week. So let's drop down to the 4-hour time frame. What is this? This is Wednesday. Wednesday of last week, the market just opened up here and then a massive, massive, massive change of direction to the downside. Right. So this is good movement. And I do like this. I do like this. I would like to see if we can continue down to the obviously continue down. So let's go to the higher time frame real quick. Let's go back. So if market is going to respect this, I thought my stuff was on do not disturb, bro. Again, same rules apply. I have my breakage structure to the upside right here, my BOS, and my change of direction happened right here. Right. So where are we at? I would like to see if we can have the market come back and we can get a reaction sometime in the future. Might be the end of the week, might even be sometime next week, right? But I definitely would like to see if we can get that. So right now we're just waiting. I already have my alerts right here, so we're just chilling. But I would like to see if we can get that. Let's go to the data real quick. Yeah, I'd rather just wait for that zone. So yeah, let's actually go ahead and see what time is it. What time I got left? Okay, we got a couple minutes. There was a pair. I just don't know what it is. Let's see. I don't even know what time frame it is, to be honest. Give me a second, guys. Oh, right here. AUD USD. AUD USD. So let's go ahead and we will delete this. So notice, guys, we are slightly uptrending, right? But it's also creating a lot of liquidity to the upside, right? So as I'm looking at this, let's go to the higher time frame. We'll move this out the way so we can get some more room. As I'm looking at this on the higher time frame lens, right? If we were to continue sales, wow, I don't know why. I must have been backtesting or something. So on the higher time frame, yes, we are slightly in a downtrend. And if we were looking at this on the weekly/monthly, technically our next best sell opportunity is way up here, right? And it looks like on that lower time frame, we actually get that liquidity built up. We get the liquidity sweep/BOS, and then we change the direction. Now, remember what I was telling you guys about after we get a change of direction, the market usually likes to consolidate for a little bit. This is a good thing. Now, once we see this, I would like to see the market make its way back down to pick us up and then possibly look for some more buys. And in the future, continue to look for some more swing sells, right? But obviously, things have to play out like that in this area. Give me a 2 if that makes sense. So I'm anticipating buys, right? Based off of the nice structure. Now I'm really anticipating buys, especially because we're holding here. That gives me like more confidence that once the market, drops, whether it comes all the way down or just pokes out and sweeps this liquidity, that we might go a bit higher, right? Might go a bit higher. So I'm not opposed to that idea. Now, as I'm looking at this, right, at that moment in time, thinking to myself, I would not mind the market to continue down lower so we can sweep this liquidity and then continue up higher, right? That's in my head. Now, this is why you don't marry a bias and you just react to the market, right? Because let's say I was just focused on this structure here, knowing that we swept liquidity, right? There's a lot of liquidity going down in here. Let's just zoom out so you guys can see that. A lot of liquidity, right? Higher high, higher low. Now notice, as soon as the market, it gives you this dominant high and it establishes this dominant high and establishes this dominant low, notice how we just range inside of that. Now, I remember a couple calls ago, we were talking about external market structure and internal market structure. This is a great example of that, right? We have the dominant high that was established, the dominant low that was established, and then we have internal structure that's just playing around inside of that. Give me a 5 if that makes sense. Right? So all of this right here is technically playing inside of the external structure. And I'll delete this for the visual, right? It's playing inside of this dominant high and this dominant low. Okay. Now, as I see this liquidity sweep, I'm telling myself, okay, I see the break of structure to the upside. I see this BOS. Now, that's a nasty, nasty breakout rally. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bullish candles. So when you see this nasty breakout rally, guys, follow that rally right back down to the last selling candle, and that's right here. Yo, I don't know, but my do not disturb does not work because I know y'all can probably hear that vibration. So that's my starting point, guys. This is my next best buy opportunity. Now, if somebody is looking at this, right? Like, okay, we just swept liquidity. Now I'm waiting for a change of direction, right? I know somebody, including myself, right? I was looking at this like, yo, all we have to do is change direction and it's game time. Liquidity sweep. I'm waiting for this. I'm waiting for this. But look what happens, guys. Market actually respects this structure and we continue higher. That is why it's very important we don't try to buy the momentum to the downside. Because look, this is what I mean by that. I'm sorry, not buy. We don't try to sell, right? Let's go ahead and let's just say, you know what? I'm anticipating the market dropping. I'm anticipating the market dropping to get that change of character that I need. But look at guys, the market is literally giving you a pretty awesome buy opportunity. It's saying, yo, massive rally to the upside. Technically, we are trending a bit to the upside, just in more liquidity form. We have a starting point. What more do you want? Right? What more do you want? But I also know there are times where we try to anticipate the next move way too soon. And that's something that I used to do my second year. I used to try to anticipate these moves way too soon. Right? So what some people do is they will try to sell this momentum. They will try to take sells right here. They'll try to take sells and try to catch this change of direction to the downside. Does that make sense? I don't want y'all to do this. I'm saying some people try to catch the momentum. They're trying to catch the play before it happens. But look at guys, the play is literally telling you buy opportunity. Everything right here screams buy opportunity. If we get this and we have the holy moly candle or even the holy moly, trifecta, then this screams sell opportunity. Does that make sense? But until we get this change of direction, we just look for buys. If we do not get the change of direction, fam, we continue to follow the trend. We continue to follow the trend. So do not try to sell or buy the momentum. Continue the trend. Look at this, guys. The market just respects this starting point, gives it some trouble. Yes, I'm not saying it was the most respected zone in the world, right? But notice how we do respect the zone and market shoots higher. I ain't gonna lie. This is a great example of being patient. Great example of being patient. Does this make sense, guys, on why we must wait for this change of direction? Because if someone was just looking to buy this or sell this momentum, you got clapped. It just is what it is. And that's why we do not do that. Now, let's see, how much time do I got left? I got 5 minutes. I'm gonna milk every minute down to the bone. Sorry, Miguel. Right? Let's drop down to the lower time frame and see how we possibly could have caught this. Right? Not saying, we could have, but let's see if we could have. Right? Now, this is what I'm looking at on lower time frame, or even this time frame. I do see we swept liquidity just a bit, or we even created more equal lows, right? So we just create more liquidity. Now, in my opinion, just based off of that, this doesn't look too hot. Like, this isn't my favorite idea. Just based off all this liquidity, we have a lot of support right here. A lot of liquidity on top of already a lot of liquidity. It's just a ton, right? So I'm not trying to force anything, but let's just see if there's anything we can take advantage of. On this time frame, this is what I'm seeing automatically, right? Especially with the time. This is New York Open, right? This is 6 o'clock. Now, just going based off of structure, right? We have a BOS at the downside right there. Now, again, this isn't the most fire opportunity, but I do see an opportunity that it gives. We have a BOS at the downside there. And guys, if that's my change, if that's my BOS, right? I just want to focus on this structure here. If this is my BOS, where's my change of direction line? Let's go. Let's go. Change of direction. Notice, guys, my breakout rally. Technically, this was the move that shot the market higher. That move right there gave you some pips. That for sure gave you a 1 to 3. Yeah. I'm about to get off. This is all I'm breaking down right now. You see how they got me out here, guys? I'm on a time crunch. No, I'm just kidding. Nah, low-key, I'd be going hella over. But that right there was the move, right? So, not saying this is the favorite. Personally, I didn't take this because I don't trade Forex pairs as often. But still, you have to understand that we have not changed direction yet. So you got to follow the trend first. Once we actually change direction, then you can go ahead and start looking for reversals. But I mean, we might have something cooking right here. What time do we got? All right, I'm running out of time. Guys, I will go ahead and share the setups that I have in the chats. I will go ahead and send them into the university chat and into the funding Powerhouse chat and the levels chat. So I hope you guys got some clicking moments. Gil, I appreciate you for hopping on today, bro. I definitely got some clicking moments today, especially on the crypto side. And y'all know, like, sometimes I just be like an airhead when it comes to some crypto stuff. So I appreciate you for doing that. And guys, trade responsibly this week. Mark up your charts, send in your charts. That way we can give you feedback. That way we can go ahead and kill the markets together. So with that being said, trade responsibly, and I will see y'all Friday. Not only that, special guest on Friday. Special guest. Let's go. That's how we end the call.